Hey, hey, hey. Oh my goodness. It is your girl, Natasha Paris, the empowerment strategist, your resident therapist. And I am so excited to come before you for yet another season 3. Well, in this season, we are bringing more and more of what you like. We had an amazing season 2 with an average of about 50 to 60 downloads a week. And I am super excited because I am predicting that we are going to have close to about 100 and 150 downloads a week and moving in to 2 to 3, 4, almost 1,000 downloads a week. I am claiming it. I am claiming it because I have something to share. So within this season 3, I'm super excited because we are going to be offering we're going to be bringing back the affirmations series where you are able to speak life into the things that you want for your life and you're able to breathe deeply. So we're bringing back the affirmation series. In addition to that, we're going to bring back those topics that really support your growth. We're going to give you solutions to possible concerns that you may have. Look, I am not here to change the world, but I am here to really change the world. Okay, come on now. And so with that said, we are excited and we're going to also be bringing some interviews. We are bringing some interviews to this platform, talking to people who you might want to know about, right? Yes, and who have something to also say. And as we have said before, I want you to do 3 things. I want you to hit that 5-star button on your favorite platform. In addition to that, I want you to share. And of course, I want you to comment. I want to hear from you. Season 3 is going to be amazing. So I want to hear from you. And so with that said, my friends, let's get right into it. Welcome to season 3. Let's go. Hey, it's your girl, Natasha Paris with the Empower You 2 podcast. And I am so delighted, as usual, to come before you to share some amazing information to potentially take your life to the next level. Because what I know for sure is that if you are empowered with information, you can change the trajectory of your life if you only do it responsibly. Let's go. If you only do it responsibly. And what I mean by that is if you are intentional about your actions and you make a decision. So let's jump into episode 204. Can you believe it? It is episode 204, season 3. And I have a topic that is going to blow your mind. And that is use your voice. Speak up. The power of the woman's voice. Come on now. The power of your voice. Okay. What we know too often is that women have spent generations, my friends, being told to stay quiet, stay agreeable, stay small, stay easy to deal with. Okay, you've heard it. But there comes a moment in every woman's life when silence becomes heavier than speaking up. Silence becomes heavier than speaking up. And in this episode, my friends, we're talking about the power, the healing, the confidence, and the transformation that happens when women finally use their voices unapologetically to speak up and no longer stay silent. So my friends, let's jump into this. And I am your host, Natasha Paris. And today we are having a conversation. Let's talk, ladies. Let's talk. Every woman needs to hear this. If you have a friend that you believe needs to hear this, no, not what you believe, because you don't know what people are struggling with behind closed doors. Share this episode because it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one because I'm going to tell you and I'm going to educate you on using your voice because there is power in speaking up. All right, so this is primarily for the woman who has been interrupted, the woman who has been told she's too emotional, too loud. I know you've heard it. I've heard it. Too aggressive, too confident. Oh, girl, you doing too much. Yes, this is for you. And this is also for the women who have stayed silent, who have quieted their voices, who've kept their peace while secretly losing pieces of herself because she can't take it any longer. Today, my friends, today, my sisters, my sisterhood, today we are taking our voices back. Let's take it back. But before we take it back, let's give some understanding and some perspective. Many women are conditioned from childhood to prioritize comfort over honesty. We are taught. What have you been taught? Yeah, think about it. And I'll share what society has said women should do. And I'll tell you about me. Think about it. What have you been taught from a child about what women are supposed to do, right? They often say, don't be difficult. Don't challenge authority. Don't sound angry, especially if you are a Black woman. Don't speak too confidently. I've heard that. I am in an industry surrounded by men on the executive level. And when I state my opinion, sometimes it's seen as, oh, she's doing too much or she's overly confident. So I can relate to you. Or don't outshine others because you're smart. You don't want the men to feel levels of insecurity because you know your stuff, right? Have you heard that before? Don't make people feel uncomfortable. See, this is the thing that is often said. It may be said out loud, boldly, or discreetly. Some women, honestly, begin shrinking to hear them. Some women stop speaking because they fear rejection. They fear rejection at work. They fear rejection in their own personal, intimate relationships. They also fear being misunderstood. I'm nice, I'm not cocky. I'm nice. I'm just smart. That's the inner thoughts and that inner talk that happens. They fear conflict. They don't want to fight all the time. They fear abandonment. They fear being labeled as the angry Black woman. Yeah. And sometimes silence becomes survival, my friends. But survival is not the same as living. And you've heard me say in many of my episodes is that you are not designed to live as a zombie. You are designed to live fully, not just exist, but to live, my darling, to live. And so what is the cost of staying quiet? What is the cost? Ask yourself, what do you exchange for silence? There's a price to pay when you are constantly silenced. And when you yourself choose to be silent, that cost looks like, come on, as your resident therapist, and I've spoken and met with so many women who have shared their levels of anxiety that they experience at the cost of being silent. Depression, burnout, feeling exhausted, having feelings of resentment. I should have done this. I should have done that. And it really breeds low self-esteem because you begin to believe that you're not enough. And that's a whole nother episode that I do want to talk to you about is those feelings of not feeling enough. But how do you get to be enough? Oh, I'm happy about that one because that's an exciting topic. But let's stay here. Low self-esteem, emotional exhaustion, feeling invisible, feeling like your words, Your behaviors does not matter. And of course, feeling unheard in relationships or careers. Some women, and I've met many women who have sat on my couch, laid on my couch, who have shared how they had feelings of resentment. They felt like they shouldn't have been so smart. They felt like how could they change from being confident to being less confident? And I had to check them. Excuse me? Do you hear what you're saying to yourself? This does not make sense if you say it out loud. And they would often repeat what I heard, and they would say, you know what, that sounds crazy. And I would say, yes, it does. Because you are a successful woman. Why should you dim your light? Some women become successful publicly while privately feeling powerless because they never learned how to advocate for themselves, emotionally, spiritually, professionally, or personally. The woman that I spoke about who laid on my couch, was a professional attorney. And she shared how she had to dim her light because many of her colleagues were men. And it seemed daunting. It seemed overwhelming for them to have a woman that was smarter than they were. And so she had to dim her light. And guess what she was also doing? She was paying the cost of exchanging that light, that confidence, that voice for low self-esteem. And what I know for sure is that when you exchange that power to become powerless, you lose everything that you've worked for. Speaking up is not just communication, it is self-respect. It is you making a decision to say that I value my voice. I value who I am. Speaking up does not mean that you're being disrespectful. It does not mean that you do not advocate for yourself. Let me say this. Speaking up means that you are not aggressive, you are assertive. Not arrogant, but confident. Not hostile, but you've set some boundaries. You are clear that there is a difference. I want you to know that you are clear. You understand that you're not an angry Black woman. You are a woman that stands on principle. You are a woman that will not allow people to make you and to treat you less than, and who say, you're not invited to this table. But what I know for sure is that if there's not a table, you will create one. If there's not a door, you will make one, even if you have to walk through that brick wall. Come on, sisters, hear me when I say, a woman who is compassionate and is firm is a woman not to be messed with, okay? A woman can be loving and still say no. Yes, because she has boundaries. A woman can lead and still be feminine. Oh, I need to drop the mic right now. Yes, you can still lead. You can still be a boss, but still be feminine. Your voice is not a threat just because it carries authority. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to say that again. Your voice is not a threat just because it carries authority. And you know what's interesting enough, my friends, is that there are other women who are intimidated by your confidence, and they want you to lower your voice. They want you to speak less confident in order to make them feel better about themselves. And I say that stops today. It stops today. So here are the areas. Let's cover the areas where women need to speak up more. Come on. We're going to stay there for a little bit. In relationships, come on. Stop settling for bare minimum. Stop settling for men who are insecure and want to dim your light. Speak up about the things that you want, your non-negotiables, what you will not tolerate. Speak up about your standards and your boundaries. I want you to speak up about your emotional and mental health, that you will not tolerate someone calling you out of your name. You will not tolerate someone using and abusing you. You will not tolerate less than what you deserve, less than what is your birthright. Come on now. I am motivating somebody today because I feel passionate about this. In relationships, you must speak up for yourself. If you want more, you have to ask for more. Come on, let's go. If you want more, you got to ask for more. Another area that you should speak up for or speak into is in the workplace. Your ideas matter. My friends, your ideas matter. Your experience matters. You have worked so hard to get to where you are, and now you're going to stop before you hit the finish line. That is a lie. That is a lie. Your leadership matters. People need to hear from you. Because in the workplace, women are often downplayed, downplayed their accomplishments, their experiences, while others confidently take credit for it. Oh, come on now. Yeah, I know you do all the work and then the man gets the credit. I understand. You're the brains behind the project. You're the brains behind the organization moving smoothly and seamlessly. But I want you to know, speak up, speak up. Another area that women tend to settle is in motherhood. Boy. Mothers, on this upcoming Mother's Day weekend, mothers deserve support. Mothers deserve rest. You deserve rest. You don't have to be the Energizer Bunny for everyone while you are burning out on both ends. Mothers deserve identity outside of being a mother. Come on. Come on. I had a woman come up to me and say, "Oh, I see your children. Are those your children?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Oh, you just don't look like you have children." I said, "Oh, thank you. But what does that mean?" She said, "Well, you're all put together. Your face is beat. You look good. You're dressed well. I bet you smell well." I said, "Yes, and thank you." And I said, "Why do you feel like if I am dressed and I look good, working out and hair done, face done, that I'm not a mom?" And she said to me, this is what she told me. She said, "Because motherhood is hard and it takes a lot out of you and it's so sacrificial. It is you putting your life on the line, putting your life on the back burner for those you bore, for those children you brought into the world. And because of that, I'm tired. I don't have the energy. You look great. You don't look stressed." I said, "Well, the reason why that is what it is because I value me. I get up earlier before my children wake up to go to the gym, to meditate, and to put my face on. Come on, because that's what makes me feel good. I'm not doing it for anyone else but me. You should try it because I guarantee you will feel better afterwards." And that was her tip for that day. And she walked away like, "Girl, I'm about to do me." And I said to her, "You do you, because how can you pour into your children's cup of life when you are completely depleted and you have nothing to pour into your children's life?" All right. So I want you to know to speak up, right? You deserve an identity outside of motherhood and you deserve rest. Another place, and this is surprising, I know it is, it's in faith and purpose. God did not create women to live muted lives. I know in religion, in many religions, they've talked about women being very subdued and women not speaking up for themselves, men being the leader of the family. Yes, that's fine and dandy. But did you know that Jesus's mom, Mary, did not silence her voice? She spoke up. Yes, there's so many women in the Bible, Ruth, so many women in the Bible that you can look to and say, no, they weren't silent. They had a voice. They knew what they wanted and they did what they wanted to do. There is a purpose that's attached to your voice, my friends. And if you allow your voice to die, your purpose for living this life will also die. Hear me when I say there is purpose attached to your voice. So how do you find your voice again? Because that voice has always been there. I want you to first, number one, stop apologizing for existing. Stop apologizing for being smart. Stop saying, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. Stop. Just stop it. Not every sentence must say, I'm sorry. Have you ever heard those people who everything that comes out of their mouth is an apology? For what? Why are you apologizing for being you? Second, practice speaking honestly in small moments. Confidence grows through repetition. In other words, I want you to constantly practice honesty in your small moments. Saying no. Fall in love with no. If you've listened to one of my episodes and I said, falling in love with the no. No. Yeah, absolutely. Right? I want you to be honest with yourself and speak up. The third, set boundaries. I just shared with you. Learn to say no, because no is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. No, and then the person's waiting, but I will do it today. No, there's nothing else after this word. The fourth is heal the fear of rejection. Heal that fear of rejection, my friends, because not everyone will understand your growth. Not everyone will understand your boundaries. Heal from that. Number 5, surround yourself with empowered women. Surround yourself with women who are not afraid to speak up. Because if you are surrounded by other healthy women who will empower you, you will rise to the occasion. You will take on the attributes of other women who are powerful. Okay, my friends, my lady friends, I'm going to give you some homework and I want you to really be intentional about this. I want you to put it in your journal, write it in your journal, or just ask yourself out loud. Here are some of the questions I want you to reflect on is, where have I been shrinking? I want you to ask yourself, whether it's been at work, in your personal relationship with family, where have you been shrinking? The second question is, what truth have I been afraid to say? What is the thing that you're afraid to say to yourself? Third question is, what does speaking up look like in my current season? What does that look like? Does it look like rejection? Does it look like higher feelings and emotions? What does that look like? The last question is, how can women support other women in using their voices? How can you, as a woman, support other women in using their voices? Well, my answer to that question is, you have to be the change you want to see in the world, because that's how you encourage by your own behavior. So with that said, my friends, I want you to say to yourself, I will not shrink my voice. I will not stop speaking for myself. I will advocate for myself. So this episode, I told you, was powerful. So I want every woman listening to me. You do not need permission to take up space. If you did not hear anything that I said today, I want permission to take up space. You deserve to be at that table. You do not need approval to walk into a room confidently. You do not need validation to know your worth. You are worthy, my sisters. You are worthy. Your voice matters. Your story matters. Your healing matters. And at the moment you begin speaking up for yourself, is the moment you stop abandoning yourself. The moment you begin speaking up for yourself is the moment you stop abandoning yourself. Well, with that said, you know what I say. You know what I say. I said, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning into the Empower You 2 podcast, because one thing that I know for sure is I want you to always be empowered for greatness, because without greatness, there is absolutely no you. And without you, there's absolutely no greatness. I'm your host, Natasha Paris, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Empower You 2. Bye.